I'm here to tell you that you matter too. Your joy matters. Your art matters. Your weird little ideas, they matter. And so here's what I want to say today. It's your turn. No guilt, no explanation, just it's your turn. You're never too busy, too tired, too old, or too anything to pursue your dreams. Welcome to the Distracted Dreamer podcast, where you'll learn how to move all those never-ending distractions aside and chase your dreams with confidence. Well, hello, my sweet friend. I'm your host, Carlene, and I am so happy to welcome you back to the Distracted Dreamer. And if this is the first episode that you're listening to, I believe that the universe knows what it's doing. You are here for a reason. Because this is actually a really emotional episode for me, and it's very different from any of the other conversations that we've had. And I want to speak to all the women out there who have spent years, even decades, caring for everyone else, pushing their dreams down and putting everyone else first. You've raised others. You've cheered them on. You've wiped tears, packed lunches, drove the carpools, made appointments, handled every emergency imaginable, and the list goes on. And I'm also talking to the people who love these women, to the people who have been cared for and know that someone has always had their back. So please share this episode with the woman in your life who has been with you every step of the way, because she needs to hear this. Okay, today is not about to-do lists, and it's not about productivity hacks or how to chase your dreams in 10 easy steps. This is about you, just you, the woman who has shown up for everyone else for years, the one who's been the rock, the planner, the giver, the one who made sure birthdays were remembered, kids were fed, partners were supported, and parents were cared for. The one who quietly tucked her own dreams behind everyone else's needs. Yeah, I'm talking to you. So what would it look like to raise yourself now? Not in a punitive, fix yourself kind of a way, but in a gentle, nourishing, let's see what or who you can become kind of a way. What would it be like to mother your dreams back into the world? To be the wise, wild woman who chooses herself, not to abandon others, but to come back home to yourself. What would that be like? Because I'm here to tell you that you matter too. Your joy matters. Your art matters. Your weird little ideas, they matter. And so here's what I want to say today. It's your turn. No guilt, no explanation, just it's your turn. And I want to hand you something today, a permission slip of sorts. And permission slips, they can come from all kinds of places. Sometimes they come quietly from watching somebody else live boldly. Maybe you know someone like that. Or maybe you see them from afar. You know those women who are taking risks? They're experimenting with wild ideas, going after what lights them up. And you think, gosh, I wish I was the kind of free spirit who could do that. But then that little voice comes in and says, no, I need to be responsible. I have obligations. That's not for me. And I'm just going to say this with love. That's a bunch of BS. Because going after what you want doesn't mean you abandon the people in your life. It doesn't make you irresponsible. You know what it does? It makes you whole. So the next time that you see someone being brave with their life, don't crumple up that permission slip that life is handing you. Don't talk yourself out of it. Use it. Let their playfulness and courage remind you that you're allowed to start something just for you. And then sometimes permission comes in a harder form, like a wake-up call or a moment that shakes us. Maybe it's an illness. Maybe it's the loss of someone who left this world way too soon. And I promise you, There is light at the end of this conversation, and it's coming. But I need to tell you the truth of it first. My best friend from high school, she died of breast cancer in her early 30s, and she left behind a beautiful daughter, and it just gutted me. I have to tell you, as I'm recording this, I'm having a really hard time getting through it without crying. And then when I was 23, I got the call that my college roommate and her boyfriend had been stalked and murdered by her ex-boyfriend. So my best friend from high school and my roommate from college, both gone. Way too young. And I still think about them all the time. I think about all the years that I've lived that they never got, and the life that they didn't get to experience. My roommate, she never got to fall in love again. She never got to get married or have kids or find her dream job or travel the world. And my best friend, oh, she was the biggest country girl I knew. Her room was full of little horse statues. She loved riding. And she's the reason that I love country music. She loved country before country was cool. And what breaks my heart is she never got to go to another concert with me. She never got to ride again. And she never got to see her daughter grow up or hold a grandbaby in her arms. So now I ask you, can you think of someone whose potential was cut short? Let that memory become gratitude. Because your potential, it's still here. It's still alive. And it's waiting on you to say yes. So let their stories become your permission slip. Find your inspiration wherever you can, from those who are still chasing dreams and from those whose dreams ended way too soon. Because this life is yours, and you don't have to wait for tragedy or a wake-up call to begin. You just have to choose. Choose you. And here's why this all matters to me so much. Because I got my own wake-up call, one that literally punched me in the gut. And some of you heard me share this back in episode 4. But it's worth repeating because it changed everything for me. Time waits for no one. And sometimes we get a scary, hit you over the head reminder of that. And I got mine in 2023. And I'll be honest, sharing this publicly hasn't been easy for me. Even when I sat down to write the notes for that episode, I thought, gosh, sharing personal stuff is really hard. And it's hard even sharing it again with you now. But I'm not sharing this to scare you. I mean, maybe I am, but in a good way. And I'm not saying my story is harder or more important than anyone else's. I'm sharing it because this was my moment. The one that said, wake up and do the thing. And 2023 was an exciting year for our family. Our youngest graduated a year early from college. Our middle daughter was planning her dream wedding. And our oldest was thriving in her career. And my husband and I retired and started to build our dream home in Tennessee. And everything was moving along. And then 1 month after retirement, I went in for my annual mammogram. And something told me they'd call me back for a second look. I wasn't even home 2 hours when the phone rang. The next day, biopsy. And 5 excruciating days later, I was home alone when the call came. I had breast cancer. And the only thing I could think to ask the doctor was, is it okay if I still go on the Disney cruise we booked for next month? I mean, who thinks about a cruise at a moment like that? Apparently, I do. And we did go. We went with our best friends, and it gave me space to breathe and to prepare and to mentally walk into the fight. It also gave me some time. I talked to my best friend from high school because she fought the fight, and I knew she was by my side. And I knew that I was going to be okay. So the surgery and radiation, it just became part of my to-do list. And I didn't want to sour all the good things that were happening in our lives. But the real moment, the one that truly cracked me open, it came in the quiet. I was wiped out from treatment. I was lying on the couch. I was binging Netflix. And I started watching a show where 2 childhood best friends, they go through life together, the careers, the relationships, all the ups and downs. And one of them, she had a dream of writing a book, but she kept putting it off. And then she got sick, breast cancer, and they tell her she has 1 month to live. And there she is, in bed, finally writing her book. I just sat there and I bawled because I realized that could be me. I mean, I lost my best friend from high school from this, and now I'm watching this play out on some drama on Netflix. What is wrong with me? And I've had that dream to write a book ever since I learned to read. But I've let fear hold the pen for many, many years. And I fear, what would people think? What if I wasn't good enough? I feared that no one would read it, or worse, they actually would, and they'd hate it. But as I was lying there that day, I decided I can't make my fear go away, but I can stop letting fear make all my decisions. My dreams get a vote now, not my fear. And that was my wake-up call. That was the kick in the pants, the voice yelling at me, what is wrong with you? How many more signs do you need to remind you that tomorrow is not promised? How many? And I don't want you to wait for that one terrifying thing to happen to get you to start taking your dreams seriously. Like, we don't get to sit on the sidelines waiting for perfect. Perfect doesn't come. But you're here now. And that's enough. With all of that, I want to give you something right now. Your permission slips. I have a couple for you. Open your hands and open your heart and carry these with you. Here's your first permission slip. You have permission to want something just for yourself. You have permission to want something just for yourself. Not for your family, not for your grandkids, not because it's practical or impressive, just because it lights you up. That's it. Here's another permission slip for you. You have permission to rest. Yeah, without earning it. You do not have to exhaust yourself to earn the rest. But we've been trained to believe that we have to do something in order to deserve something. But what if rest wasn't a reward? What if it was just your right? So you have permission to rest. And the third one is, you have permission to start something new, no matter your age or time of life. You have permission to start something new, no matter your age or time of life. You're not behind. You're just beginning on a timeline that actually honors who you are now. So which of those permission slips resonated with you? All of them? I want you to tuck all three of them into your pocket. But which one really spoke to you? Make note of that. Follow that every day. And now I want to acknowledge something that's kind of tender here too. Sometimes when we begin to think about what we want, there's a little grief that bubbles up. And I think that's why this episode is so emotional for me, is because maybe you're realizing that you put yourself last for so long that you don't even know what you want anymore. Maybe the dream you once had doesn't fit anymore. Or maybe it quietly expired while you were busy being everything to everyone else. And that's okay. That grief, it's sacred. Let it come. Let it speak, but don't let it stop you. You still get to begin again. And guess what? You don't need a 5-year plan. You don't need clarity right away. You just need curiosity. Now, I know this isn't always easy. There's guilt, there's doubt, there's the voice that says, who am I to do this now? But here's my question back to that voice. Who are you not to? You've waited. You've earned every laugh line and every lesson. And if there's even a whisper in you saying, I want something more, I'm here to say that whisper matters, and you don't have to answer it alone. If you're feeling ready to take that next tiny step, go back and listen to episode number 11. You're never too old to chase your dreams. That episode is full of simple ways to actually start putting things in motion for yourself. But before you do that, I'd love for you to give yourself a few quiet moments to reflect, to ask some questions that maybe no one's asked you in a really long time or ever. And I put these questions in a free downloadable reflection journal, a PDF, that you can grab at the link in the show notes. So go download that right now and take a few quiet moments to think on these. So here are those reflection prompts. The first one is, what would make you feel more alive and energized? The next one, If money weren't an issue, how would you spend your days? Number 3, if you had 2 extra hours a day, what would you do with that time? And finally, finish this thought. Wouldn't it be cool if I ... And really let your imagination go with that last one. Wouldn't it be cool if I didn't work on Fridays? If I felt strong and confident in my body? If I was excited to get out of bed every morning? If I finally painted that big messy canvas? If I finally started that thing I've been secretly dreaming of for years? Now remember, you don't have to have all the answers. You just need a little spark of wonder, because that's where real change begins. And I know it can feel lonely sometimes, like you're the only one struggling with this right now, but you're not. I've talked to so many women, including myself, trying to figure out what this next chapter looks like. This in-between space, not quite who we were, not yet sure who we're becoming. Can you relate to that? There are beautiful communities out there for first-time moms or stay-at-home moms, working moms, women entrepreneurs, knitters, church groups, you name it. But where's the space for us? For the women who spent years, even decades, showing up for everyone else, who have buried their dreams under duty and caretaking, who are just now asking, what's next? What's mine? What lights me up? And how do I chase it without guilt? Where are our people? And that's why I'm creating a space just for us. A cozy, encouraging membership community that's going to be opening soon, where you can get coached, you can get clear, and be surrounded by women who truly get you. Women who are done shrinking. Women who are quietly choosing themselves, one brave step at a time. You'll have support, you'll have tools, and most importantly, you'll have space to grow and to dream. And I hope you'll consider joining me there when the doors open. But for now, don't worry about that. I just want to invite you to go grab your free journaling reflection PDF. It's linked right in the show notes below. And give yourself some time to explore what's stirring in your heart. And always, always remember, you are not selfish for choosing yourself. You are allowed. You are worthy. And you are just getting started. I love spending time with you here. And if today's episode sparked something for you, I'd love to hear about it. Leave a review, share it with a friend, or come chat with me on Instagram. And thank you so much for tuning in. And your dreams are waiting for you. Your time is now. And I can't wait to see you in the next episode. Oh, and one more thing. This is the legal language. You know, the stuff that the lawyers put together, and they say that I need to read this to you. So here we go. This podcast is presented solely for educational and entertainment purposes. I'm just your friend. I'm not a licensed therapist. This podcast is not intended as a substitute for the advice of a physician, professional coach, psychotherapist, or other qualified professionals. Got it? Good. I will see you in the next episode.